İyi. Merhaba, ben Bilge.
Konnichiwa, Tomo desu.
And today we're going to talk about something very important to us. Raising multilingual kid and how we are doing it. I think we can start with our own background with languages. We are 100% Turkish and Japanese as far as we know. We didn't do any DNA checks. So our native languages, let me start with myself. Mine is Turkish. And I grew up also learning English and German at school after I was 12 years old. What about you in Japan?
So, for myself, I speak English probably better nowadays than Japanese. German, I get by here, so I recognize enough. Then the Spanish, I also understand decent. Yeah, so 4 languages, plus Turkish that I pick up from Kai.
You count Turkish as well?
5 languages that's in my life.
Okay. Well, yeah, we always had many languages in our lives so far, so we never kind of worried how our life is gonna be with Kai. We are used to speaking English at home, well, at work too. So let's talk about a little bit what's Kai's story.
Yeah, Kai is exposed to multi-language environment from day one. I think grandparents kind of pumped in their own languages really early days.
Yeah, my mom was here quite often when he was born, right? In the first 2 months, and then we took him to Turkey for another month. And then my mom came and left quite often, maybe 3 to 4 times, right? And so she spent a lot of time with Kai and she talked Turkish to him all the time. I think that helped for Kai to say his first word, which was Ege, his second name.
Ege. Ege. Ege.
And also I think Turkish is fairly friendly for kids to to speak. I mean, Baba is father. I mean, how easy is that? And Japanese is otosan. I mean, actually I must say he started saying otosan well from the start, which was quite impressive from my side.
Yeah, it was already how many months?
I think it was after a year, no?
After a year, he said otosan. Yeah, and the mother is okasan in Japanese. It again very tough compared to Turkish is anne. And the funny thing is, Kai calls me okasan more and calls him baba more. So he switches our native languages against each other, even though I would love to hear him saying more anne, but I think it's because of us. I tell him, go to baba and say this. And he goes and he says, Baba, da da da da da. And then same. Tomo directs him to me with Okasa. But yeah, that's also fun.
And then around 20 months he started to count in 3 languages.
Yeah, up to 10.
Up to 10, yeah.
And out of blue.
And actually 4 languages, because out of blue he started to count in English.
That was the first language he started to count in English.
Was it?
Yeah, we were sitting at the table eating dinner and he was suddenly like 1, 2, 3.
Kaça iç? Ni? Rock? Hachi? Kay 1 1 2 Kay 1,
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Aferin. Kay 3,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Aferin.
Mix.
1,
9,
9.
10.
9, 10. 1. Kay 1,
1.
2, 3, 4.
5.
I think there's a lot of influence from the daycare because we started sending Kai to daycare at month 9. We both have 100% demanding jobs and we don't have anyone here to help us. I think that's also norm in Switzerland, right? The grandparents are not the first people that you take your kid to help you to, although in Turkey it's quite common. Kids grow up with their grandparents almost. So here we need that system to help us, and daycare, daycare is our only option basically. But that's a good thing because the system is great here. Of course there are things that needs to be improved as well in terms of financials. It's very expensive. It equals to a rent of a house for a family. But yeah, this is the option, the only option we have to continue to be in the workforce and earn money. But that's a good thing on the side because Kai is exposed to other kids on a daily basis and he loves it. He sometimes actually prefers to be in the daycare rather than being with us, which is a sad thing. We ask him every morning, do you want to go to crib bed? And he's like,
Yeah, I mean, he says something in Swiss German that we don't understand, and then we think he's just, blah blah, but then actually he's speaking Swiss German, which is quite impressive. Construct a sentence.
I'm going to check when he started to say 5-word sentences in the daycare. Uh-oh, he's awake. He's awake. 22 months old, he started to say full sentences in Swiss German. They told me from the daycare that he can do this. And then he started to construct sentences with 5 words. I think a month later or 2 months later. Here they are. Kai, uyandın mı anneciğim? So I was saying Kai started saying full sentences in Swiss German at month 22. Basically, daycare helped us a lot in his language development in Swiss German, but of course Swiss German became his first primary language even at home.
So we recognize his mixture of 3 languages, and then we get by.
What do you mean by 3 languages?
Well, he can mix Japanese, Turkish, and then Swiss German.
Yes. But let's count how many languages Kai interacts within a day, because also daycare has their own system. This is not a common system of the daycares, it's just the one we picked allows the teachers to speak in their own language. So Switzerland has 4 official languages: Swiss German, French, Italian, and Romansh. Right? And of course, they speak mainly in Swiss German in the daycare, but also Swiss German has its own dialects, right? So they speak, I think, 2 dialects in the daycare, and then they also speak English. There's 2 teachers, I think, at the moment speaking English, and then there's 1 teacher who speaks French. And at home we're speaking Japanese, Turkish and English. And also there's one more point. The difference between Swiss German and High German. You might think that they're the same, but actually they're quite different phonetically. I think it's almost like Turkish and Azeri Turkish. You know, I can understand Azeri Turkish somewhat, but still it's not the same language. German people don't understand Swiss people when they speak German. So you can kind of guess how difficult it is. And we can count that almost is another language. At the daycare they speak to Kai too. So in the daycare they speak 4 languages, and at home we speak 3 languages. So the only common languages we speak between daycare and home is English.
Yeah.
And that makes 6 languages that Kai deals on a daily basis. Değil mi Kai? Evet. Evet. Yeah, that's quite complex. We didn't plan it this way. It happened this way because the daycare we chose is the closest to us, so we didn't expect him adding this complexity of other languages. We thought he would learn Swiss German plus maybe English in the daycare, but it happened to be much more than that. But we are not complaining about it. I think this is a bless, right?
Yeah, I think it's important that he's exposed to all these languages. Then, in the future we will be able to use them.
So we wanted to talk about multilingual kids because there's not enough resources out there, but also we know that there's a lot of parents out there in the same situation as us. Couples from different countries, and also if they live in a different language, they end up with at least 3 languages in their home. And we want to know more how it works for you, if we can learn from each other. Please let us know in the comments, like this video, and if you want us to talk about this more and show Kai's progress, like this video so we can share more.